What is up, guys? Today we are doing a do-it-yourself front splitter. Now, I've had a track dog front splitter on my Miata before, and then I accidentally went off-roading and completely ripped the whole front splitter off. So I really like that track dog front splitter. I'll actually put a picture up here right here of what my car actually looked like before, and like I have not had the front splitter or a front lip on my car in like a pretty long time, and I have the big wing in the back, so it kind of looked really awkward driving around the road. But today we're actually putting a front lip, and also, well, actually just put the front lip on, and then I also have a custom do-it-yourself front splitter. So the front splitter and also the brackets that I do have that we're gonna be installing on the car today are from Travis Devine, and he is on Facebook. He's the guy who did cut out these front splitters. He did create them, and he kind of made it like a kit out of it. So it does come with the brackets, the side mounts for your car, and also the full splitter cut out already. So the brackets themselves, I'm not too sure what the material they're made of. They're pretty sturdy, and I think like you can actually find it from Home Depot. But anyway, the front splitter is made out of aluminum composite material, which is kind of like a aluminum outside and then kind of like a poly core. So it's super sturdy. So kind of give you guys a layout of what it looks like before we mount it on the car. This is just plastic, or sorry, this is just a cover, so you can rip this off. And actually it's black underneath, which is perfect because, you know, I do like black, and the front lip is black, so it's gonna match pretty good. This is the cutout itself, so it actually does give you kind of like an under tray under the car, and then the back will mount to splash guard bolts back there. I'll kind of show you guys what I'm gonna mount it to, because I don't have like the splash guard anymore, and my subframe is kind of scraped up from just a tough beating on the car that I've done to it. But this is the bracket that I was talking about. It's actually one I already bent, but I'll be showing you guys how I do bend this, or how I did bend it. Like I said, it's pretty sturdy, and like this is super durable. I'd say it's probably like, I don't know if you guys can see, it's pretty thick, but it's gonna be super sturdy. I'm pretty stoked about that. So if you guys are interested in this front splitter, Travis actually, I got the last run from him, so he is actually gonna be making like a version 2 of this front splitter, kind of like a little bit better. And so if you guys are interested, I'll throw all of his information down below, and definitely hit him up on Facebook. And this front splitter costs altogether, I think it might cost a little bit more in the future, but it's $150 for everything, and then you do have to get the hardware, but it's like $8 from Home Depot from there. So it's actually a pretty good deal, because my like track dog front splitter, which was not even close to as durable as this is actually like a legit, you know, track front splitter. It cost me like $140 or something like that from, you know, Track Dog online. So this is actually a pretty good deal with this composite, the ACM composites. So like I said, I already mounted the front lip. This is the R-Spec lip that you can actually get off eBay, and then they also have the GB lip. This will work with any, and it also works, this splitter will work with both lips, pretty much any lip that you can probably find, and then it also will work with no lip. So this is what the splitter looks like mounted up. It's not mounted, it's just like set up on a box right here, which is what I found easiest to do. I have my car jacked up all the way on all the jack stands, but just kind of getting it lined up where I want to drill my holes. So like I was saying, and I was showing you guys, this is the bracket itself, and like I was saying before, you do have to bend this bracket. I will show you guys on the other one. I already did this side just to kind of give you guys a reference of, you know, every single Miata is going to be different, and whatever lip you use, it's going to be lower, higher. So, you know, Travis actually does like do a line of where you should bend it, and then from there it's kind of, you know, working with your own Miata and where you should bend it. But so the hardware that I used, this is like the factory hole on your car. Also, like, Travis does cut these brackets for you, cut it to a specific length, and also like cuts it out so you can bolt it up here. But the hardware that I used for the car, I got all of my hardware from Home Depot, and so it was like $8 for everything. And then this is the hardware right here that I got, M6 1.2 by 16 millimeters, and that's the bolt that goes right here, and fits perfectly, and like it's on there, like it's not moving at all. You know, the end goal of the splitter is to be pretty sturdy, and you know, someone that's not extremely heavy can probably be able to stand on the front of it. You know, I'm 195 pounds, so it may be able to hold me. I don't know if I want to try it or not, but it should be able to hold like 140 pounds or something like that. But so that's the only hardware that you need over here to mount this side bracket up, and then from there you can see how the bracket is close there now, and I'll be able to drill a hole into the front splitter and also through the bracket itself to bolt it up for it to be sturdy. So like I was saying before, this is the one that I haven't bent yet. This is the bracket that I haven't bent, and you can see, like I was saying, Travis does mark it for you and kind of like does a little notch out of there so it's easier to bend on both sides. Like I said, it's modification up to you on how you want to bend it to fit your car specifically. Now, I don't have a vise or anything to bend this in, so I had to get really creative, and I do have a stack of tires here and wheels. So I basically slid this under the tires, and I'll kind of show you what I did. And it's not too hard to bend actually, and this was actually, I was pretty stoked with myself that I was able to find this thing, find this idea, because like I said, I didn't have a vise or anything. Wasn't sure how I was gonna bend this, but sticking on the tire and bending up, because this is heavy enough with to bend it, worked perfectly fine. Now this is the end goal for me. Like I said, I had to do with tires because I don't have like a mount or like a vice grip or anything like that. I can stick it in, just bend it from there. You'll be able to get a better right angle. You can see mine's kind of bent. It's gonna work either way, but you want to get it to pretty much like a 90-degree angle or a nice L shape for it to fit on your car. Coming over to the other side, this is the bracket that we just bent, and from there it's just, you know, this is gonna be your hole right here. Sorry if it's kind of dark, and you can see you might have to make minor adjustments here and there, but there it is. And then mine right there is, it looks like it's pretty good. And then from there you just use your hardware that you got from Home Depot, which is the M6 1.0 like 16 millimeter bolt, and just mount it up right there. And then from there, now we're gonna be doing holes in the brackets and then holes also in the splitter. So we just drilled the hole for our bracket. Now, if you guys do get the same hardware as I do, which is the M6 1.0 16 millimeter, then you will want to get to use to drill that hole out is going to be a 1/4 drill bit. And then from there, it's literally like, you just pop that, then the bolt in, and you go straight through, and you're good to go. Slap that nut on. Now we have to drill the hole in the splitter. All right guys, so I got both brackets drilled out for the holes on the bottom right here. And as you can see, there's a slight hole right there. But now what I did is I took a Sharpie, basically, and I took this hole that I drilled in the bracket, and I'm drawing like a little dot right there so I know where to drill on the splitter. And I'm gonna do the same thing on the other side. And then there's a bolt back here that I'm gonna mount to the subframe. Like I was saying, where the splash guard goes on basically a stock Miata, but I'll show you where I'm gonna do mine. I'm gonna mark that up, and then other than that, we're gonna drill 3 holes in the splitter, and then from there, the 2 mounts on the side and also the back mount will be done, and we'll be good to go to mount all the bolts up at the front. So the mounting on the back, pretty much, this is on the subframe, this is at the rear of the splitter. This little tab right here is what I'm gonna be mounting for the back of my splitter. You have like multiple options, like if you do have a stock Miata, like the splash guard, you can mount it anywhere, but that is the tab that I'm gonna mount it on for the rear of my splitter. So I went ahead and drilled my holes for for each side, the side brackets, and this is like the 1/4 drill bit. And then for the rear, I'm using a bigger nut, or sorry, a bigger bolt, just so it's a little bit more sturdy. And then, so it's a little bit bigger hole. But that's where the mounting piece I just showed you guys will go on the subframe. So awesome, we got all the the holes drilled. Now it's time to bolt everything up. Actually, the most satisfying piece that we have to do is we still have to peel all this white off. So let's go ahead and do that. Now that we got all the white like tape, that looks so good. It's like a nice, kind of like a gloss black. It looks so sick. All right, so we got the front splitter pushed on, mounted up, and then what I'm doing right now is I'm actually gonna put the brackets under it so it kind of holds up a little bit more. But I got my bolt in there, as you guys can see, and then from there it's gonna be a 10 mil, and then I have a nut for the bottom, and you're just gonna have to use a 10 mil wrench and also a ratchet just to tighten that down. Alrighty, so we got everything mounted up, and these things, I gotta say, they're pretty sturdy. So we got the bolts up here, the brackets bolted up, and then we got everything bolted to the splitter. And then I'll show you guys that it just bolts to the bottom. I still have to take the white off the bottom, but we got one bolt right there, and then on the other side is the same thing. And then I will show you guys, if you guys can see that bolt right in the middle right there, that's the main one, and it just bolts to that little bracket that I showed you guys before. So everything is bolted up, and like, it is sturdy on there. Like, I'm pulling down on it and everything, and it's like not moving. Like, these are on here too. Like, I'm like shaking on it. It's pretty sturdy. So the next thing that we do have to do is we're gonna put the screws in the front, because this is still, you know, it does still move a little bit, so the screws will help with it being completely secure down in the front. Yeah, didn't film it too much, film it at all actually, but I'll show you the screws that I use up front. I only used 4 because it's on there now, and I'll show you how I drilled them and how long I got. I actually got a little too long, but hey, you can't see it, and like, it'll be extra sturdy. After that, splitter rods, and then we're done. And like, I can't wait to see this car on the ground, and then I'll show you guys how sturdy it is, because it is super sturdy. So my mic went out here, but basically what I'm showing you guys is this is the screws that I use. They're 4 inches long. I would definitely suggest going 3 inches because they are a little bit long, and they did go through my bumper. So I'm gonna show you guys how I mounted them right here. So I did put 4 on, basically 2 in the front and 1 on each side, and definitely held up pretty good. I probably would put a little bit more later on down the road just to give it make it even more sturdy, but I'm pulling down on it here, and it's definitely super sturdy with just those 4 screws. So it definitely did the job. It looks so good. So I got both of the rods, the splitter rods up, so now like I can see where I want to mount my holes on the splitter. Now I just have to mark it up, drill holes, and we are good to go. And the splitter rods will be on in the front splitter. Look at that. Oh, look at that view. That is so sick. Sweet. As you guys saw in that last clip, I got my holes drilled. Just used a Sharpie to mark them. Now it's just time to put the bolt in, and then the nut on the bottom, and we are done. So fast forward a couple days, I wanted to show you guys out in the light of the front splitter, also the car on the ground, and man, I have to say it looks so good. Big shout out to Travis for just making these splitters, and it fits the car so well. So let me get to it and let me show you guys the front splitter. Man, this thing looks so good on the ground. I have to lower the car a little bit in the front, but this thing looks so good. Oh man, it looks so good. I'll get a front view here. You can see like it almost matches. These are 225 tires, and it almost pretty much matches up how wide it is, the front splitter on the kind of on the front right there. That view looks so dope. Splitter rods are on there. I'll do it kind of like it. I'm pushing down on it pretty hard, and the splitter's on there, and it's pretty even. It's not pointing up at all. That's what's just the adjustment on the splitter rods. This thing looks so good though. Just the overall view on this thing looks so good. So good. If you guys are interested in seeing more photos of the car, definitely follow me on Instagram, cbarber_Z33. I'll put it right here. And I'll have a lot more photos of the car and also the front splitter on my Instagram. And remember, GPG, if you guys like this video, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And peace out, guys. See you in the next one.